Every time I have to troubleshoot, I have to reload it. It's pretty rough. Okay, can you guys hear me? Testing 1 2. I should be live. Okay. Yes. Probably. Yes. Roger, Roger. Okay. Sweet. Okay, I don't know how much a Battle Royale kind of lagged out there. And again, let me know. I just lowered my resolution and swapped internets, so this should fix it at this point. Oh, good job, Bim. Wait, what did Bim say? Okay. I am here. Okay, how much of Battle Royale got cut out? Does anyone know? Did anyone see Battle Royale at all when I was going over it? Or do I need to repeat it? Anyway, hey guys, Slader here. This is a little walkthrough of MCBC Season 4. I'm going to be going over some of the changes here. I don't know if we're even going to keep the old stuff, but we'll see. So, Escape. Some of the changes we made for this season's Escape is on the right-hand side, when the scoreboard comes up like it normally would, saying time remaining, that will now have all 5 teams' clock counting down, 900 seconds, so still 15 minutes. But when that team escapes, their name or their clock will stop. And these little clocks that you can find in the map will actually reduce your escaped time by 10 seconds each. There's 5 within your level, hidden. In testing, most of the testers found like 3 or 4, so they're not super difficult to come across. Some of them are really cheekily hidden. It's worth noting these won't bring you back from the dead. So like if you fail to escape, don't think that having one of these things will suddenly like, oh, now I get 100 points because technically I escaped with 10 seconds left. No, that's not how that works. But what it will do is put you ahead of a team that also escaped. So that should help. I don't know. Why does everyone keep saying Brit killed Rupert? Dude, Rupert died, and it was just... I can't believe Rupert died. You know? It was sad times. Peril and Travis are having a bit of a scrap in the chat right now. Anyway, so that's how these work. And 5 of these clocks can be submitted into these chests at the end of the game. And technically, and this is worth noting, technically you could put your clocks into another team's chest. Now, this could, you could just mess it up real bad and just like throw it in the wrong chest. And that's, sucks to suck at that point. But you could also strategically give a team your things to help them pull ahead. Now there's still a cap of 5 clocks that I will be using, so you can't just like all of the teams gang up on Snipe Shot. But if a team doesn't get 5 clocks, you can throw a couple of yours if you want to risk it. It's up to you. So just be aware of that. Going over some of the rest of the stuff in this room, some plates can only be used by players. That's stone plates. Wooden plates can be used by players, but they can also be used by fishing rods. Do not use a bow and arrow on them and do not drop items. There's no point in this where you need to drop an item on a plate to make it work. You can, I don't think, it won't break anything this time, but try not to. Fishing rods can use wooden pressure plates. This is coming back from the last from the last escape map. We are keeping this thing, whole fishing rod and wooden pressure plate. But on top of this, we're also adding a new difficult tool, I guess, that you guys will have at your disposal to make things a little bit more fun, and that is target blocks. So target blocks can only be activated by an arrow hitting it, and as you can see there, it didn't stay open, so it acts kind of like a button. None of the target blocks you have to hit a bullseye, you just have to hit the target block, so they all kind of work as you just have to hit it somewhere on the block. And that, The power of it doesn't matter. The range doesn't matter. There is some points in the level where you're going to have to like long shot a bow. So just, and you're going to want to hit the target block every single time. Anyway, so, you know, just keep that in mind. The bow will be a part of this level. The exit, which I love my little demo here of an exit. Basically, 2 stone plates like this marks the end of the level. Have both players stand on the plates to stop your time. It's the same as the other ones. You just have to have both players stand on the stone plates, and you'll escape. And then the other thing to note is that just like the target block over here, everything's color coded. So like a blue button will open a blue door, and a yellow target will open a yellow door. And then if you see 2 of the same color, typically, so like here, what you may have to do is something like this. And then you can get the 3rd guy through a door. So just keep that in mind, or the 2nd guy, your partner can go through a door while you're able to be on both plates, technically, with the rod. So just keep that in mind. They were planning a time on when to do Among Us. All right. Anyway, moving on. So escape, that's pretty much the changes there. So we'll go over to Spleef now. Spleef didn't get too many changes, but I know with like escape, it's kind of boring just because it's all me just showing the demo of him. So escape, or the Spleef, the first thing you're going to notice is that, yeah, the map is a little bit smaller. I made some of the levels, like, they get bigger as you go down. The other thing is, with the decay, I finally fixed that issue that Caper discovered, where you could just, on Friday or Saturday, I'm working, I think, both of those days. I will let you know closer to. So Spleef, basically, the decay is fixed. We got rid of the grass blocks during decay, so it just goes, it's snow, and then that decays into grass path now, so Caper can't cheese it, and then that goes into soil, and then air, so just like before. But and then the other thing we changed is TNT will now increase speed. So in the final minute, it doubles. We may even, in a future season, we may even add it so that we'll start at a minute before, but then it's TNT every 20 seconds. We'll just keep doubling it every minute. So we'll see. And I think that's everything. Spleef-wise, let me just double check. Grass path's not decaying. Oh yeah. This is kind of important. So in the past seasons, people had problems with the lava lighting them on fire because the game would think they're falling. It's like a desync issue. The game would think they're falling, but then they're not actually falling, so they fall and then get teleported back up. This wouldn't occur on their screen, but it would occur on everyone else's. And I fixed that kinda by lowering the lava level. So the lava is just lower now. I think before it was like here. It was at 34, and now it's all the way down at 24-ish, 25-ish. So the game has more time to kind of warp them back up. The only problem with this is that it didn't really fix the whole, oh my god, this guy he's teleporting back up. Oh, that's such a problem. But it did fix the fact that on your screen, you are lit on fire. So, and taking damage, and we did have some people die to that. So that should be fixed now. So that's fun. You can just see like a lot of like just random builds. There's another Sans head. You can just see a lot of it. I think that's Guess Who. And then this is another Spleef arena that we have. It's just, yeah. Anyway, you can just see that there's a lot of games on this world. Not all of them we use for MCBC, but there are a lot of games going on here. Does Capo know about the fix? I think he does know about the fix, yes. Getting teleported back up when you're falling totally isn't a glitch. It's just cheesing the system. Yeah, totally. 100%. No, it is a desync issue with Bedrock, unfortunately. There's not really much we can do about that. But it is just snipe shot hacking, for sure. So I don't know. I think disqualification would be fair. 0 points in Spleef. 0 points in general, maybe. That's probably the best way to do it. I don't know if anyone agrees with that, but fly hacks on. Yep, for sure, 100%. Okay, so let's go to Copycat, which is the last thing I wanted to go over. Maybe I will go through and just repeat BR again, just because I'd like to post this as one video and not all separate. So, Copycat. I'm going to go into this area first. So I'm very cautious on this one. Out here, past the stone brick wall, is like the area where you see the builds. I'm not showing that because I don't want anyone to get a distinct advantage on what the builds look like. So we're not going to be showing that. But what I am going to show is the new shop system. So this is the whole new shop. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. It's sweet. It's swanky dank. Tempted to apply for builder for MCBC, however, I forgot I'm not a good builder. Get out your camera, guys. Yeah, replace snipe shot with me. It's a big nerf, but not. It's a big nerf, but not a big one. Wait, that didn't make sense. Copycat was so hard in my head, I can't remember anything. I'd be so screwed. Yeah, Copycat's an interesting game. Titanium Zombies says it's his least favorite game, and other people have told me it's their favorite. So it's very interesting. I've been asking for feedback from everyone that's partaked on like what their favorite is, what the least favorite is, and why. Just so I can kind of fix the games that suck and maybe give a little less attention to the ones that are really loved. That way I can kind of put them all on a more even playing field. The one change I still need to do to Copycat before the next week is I need to extend the game mode by 5 extra minutes. This will be a 20-minute game mode now. It's just because I find that you spend the first 5 minutes of the game just trying to figure out what materials you need and what builds you're actually building. So a few of the changes we made. Obviously, we changed all 5 of the builds for this season, which shouldn't come as too big of a surprise to everybody that, you know, we've adjusted them. But in addition to that, they're easier this time, and you actually have to build all 5 of the builds now to finish the game mode. It's not just you build 3 of them and then you're done. They are easier, they're smaller than what they were before, but you do have to build all 5. Saturation and plots not working, that was a problem. I think I've resolved that now. And then the other change is the shop. So in the past, we had the cat in your plot give you XP. I struggled so hard in the stupid red sandstone build with bones. Everyone did. Yeah, it was rough. I was watching Snipe and even I couldn't understand what was wrong with it. Yeah, orientation is an issue. So the builds last season were built solely by Spiffy Gent, and he basically built them to confuse everybody. And then I was going through them and I'm like, dude, I think you got a problem. And then the other thing was bone blocks weren't even in the shop last season, because he thought you could make bone blocks out of white dye because he thought it was bone meal because he's an older Minecraft player, so he's still used to all of that. And then during the tournament, he's like, why can't everyone get it? And then he's like, oh. And he sent me an Xbox message. He's like, yeah, they don't have bones. And I'm like, oh, okay, whoops. I had to fix it on the spot because he was watching, I believe he was watching Titanium's stream at the time. He was like, yeah, we got a situation on our hands. I'm like, yeah, it's not good. So anyway, this is the shop now. So in the past, we had the cat give XP levels, and then you could buy the blocks from the shop. We've changed it now. As you can see, first off, there's no parkour. That will make people happy, I'm sure. And then all of these blocks in here are different things that you can mine. So it's actually just these little blocks here. And when you break them, they replace. And you are in adventure mode. So the way this works, I'm going to give myself a little pickaxe here as well. Can I just... Okay. Oh, that's not how you spell pickaxe. There we go. So even though I'm in adventure mode, I can't break anything. I can break these, and that's because of the allow blocks and the deny blocks. Right now, there's no tile drops on. That is enabled for the actual game mode, but it's okay. The only other thing that people have noticed is that you can't hold the button down, so you actually have to reinitiate it every time, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. And then all of these are actually spread out amongst all the different rooms, so it's pretty cool. Silk Touch, obviously, for all the glass and everything, you will need to do that. And the way we set it up is, obviously you're not going to use every single one of these blocks, but we've tried to include as many blocks as we think we'll use, not just for this championship, but for future ones. And we kind of set that up because when we first set up Copycat, I didn't even realize we'd be doing a ton of seasons of this, and I kind of went back and I was like, you know what? Let's set it up so that we don't have to change what's in the shop every single time. And instead, we have a wide variety of different blocks in here. We can always add some new stuff here and there, but for the most part, we won't really have to. Like, I think in this room, like, you could change, like, you got 3 stone blocks up there that are literally just those, but crafted. So you could change those. Obviously, you got crafting tables in here. Those are they're still in the plots. There's still furnaces and everything. So that's a tip for the players in MCBC. Me and Sip mine them on loop so many times. Yeah. You're definitely going to... wait, what do you mean mine them on loop? The only problem I think people will have is that because there's only 5 builds, people will be just running, like if a cobblestone is in the build, for example, there's going to be like 5 people running over here at the same time and all trying to contest for the 1 cobblestone block. That wasn't something I realized until after we already built the shop, so I was kind of like, maybe we should make the shop bigger? I don't know, and just have like more of the same materials, just so that people aren't contesting over the same thing, but... Oh, mine the cobblestone from the side. Oh, yeah. It was something like this. Wait. Yeah, you can hold it if it's from the side because there's no block behind it that it interrupts it on. If you can kind of get it so that you're on air, you can get it. But then someone else can just swoop in and steal it. So you got to be careful about that. Yeah, that's definitely a tip. Bim and Sip noticed that during testing. So I'm going to go back to BR real quick and just go over some of those changes again because it seems like the stream has, since I swapped internets, it seems that the stream has calmed down and is able to actually keep track of what I'm doing. So let's go back to BR. 34. And again, I set up TPs, or I have coordinates written down so that I don't have to go through my main hub because I don't want to show anything that I don't want to show. So Battle Royale. We're back here. I'm going to repeat everything I was talking about earlier. So we've added some new chests for Battle Royale. Make it so that you can punch players. No, I don't think we're going to do that for Copycat. Maybe we'll do... We were talking about adding punching in Rift Race, but then we're like, yeah, but maybe that would ruin the game mode. So we're being careful about that. We already have 2 PvP modes out of 7. We don't need more. And even the 5 non-PvP game modes, like even Spleef, is arguably PvP. So, kind of 3, I guess. And they all test different skills as well. And that was one thing we're thinking about is when we introduce new game modes, we want to make sure they rely on different skills. So if we brought in like Sky Wars, we would probably have to remove... it would be Gladiators. It wouldn't be BR just because of how massive this is and how wasteful it would be to get rid of it. Anyway, Battle Royale. We've added some new chests. Obviously, there's a ton of them now. I believe we added like 20 or 30 new ones. We've changed the chest system. So the way the chest system works is that we pick a spot and we say, okay, we want this to be a common chest location. And you can see I've color-coded it all gray, blue, and purple. And so typically, it would always spawn either a gray common chest there, or it would make it air. So that sometimes, you can't target it every single time. And sometimes there would be no chest there, which is what the white is for. It's just replacing it with air, which you can see there is a chance of that for every rarity. We've adjusted it now so that even if we pick a common chest, it has a chance of spawning a rare and a low chance of spawning an epic. So with rare, it's kind of the same thing. Higher chance of it spawning in a common, but also a small chance of rare. And then with rare, mostly going to be rare, might be common, might be rare, might be epic, might be rare. Anyway, you guys get the point. It's a little bit harder to track now. So even though the places that we want to have the highest tier loot will usually have the highest tier loot, it might not always work out that way. So again, we're only doing 1 round of Battle Royale, so this won't really apply too much, but again, it's for the longevity of the game mode. And for people like Titanium Zombie, who know the game mode inside and out, this kind of nerfs those type of players. It adds a little bit more randomness to it. I think it's a cool idea of making the shop a bit bigger so that you can have many of the same block. For example, like 4 cobblestone blocks so multiple people can mine cobblestone without overcrowding. Exactly. Yeah, copycat, but yes. Because it's going to be like multiple people in one block, which you can just like step in front of and stop them mining, which can be annoying for some people. Yeah. 100%. Yes, that is something we're going to do. I imagine that's going to be a problem next week, but it is one of those things that we're going to find out. Copycat might not even be played, so we'll see. So we did do changes beyond the chest stuff. Map changes, I was showing them off. It was an MCBC Season 4 trailer, and then obviously I was showing them off earlier this stream. But the winter biome, the castle is kind of gone. We've made it like ruiny, and then we've covered it all in snow. We have this little this cute OMG tent and this cute OMG little house that I built. Proud of it, guy stuff, because actually I'm pretty proud of myself for this. I did most of the castle ruining over here in the snow. I guess Andy did some of the snow, but beyond that, Arbiter and Spiffy Gent are the new heads of Battle Royale design, and they did this with the redwoods, which is wow. Looks amazing. Like when you come over to any other part of the map, it's like, man, these jungles and that volcano, it's so cool. And you just look over and it's like, yeah, that's so much cooler. It just makes everything else look so lame. Yeah, the bitrate is going to die a little bit whenever I fly around. I'm going to try not to do it too much. It was actually a cute little story with the redwoods. I was like, all right, guys, let's figure out what we want to overhaul. And I was like, let's do the winter biome and let's give it a Griffith Village because, well, obviously this is a thing now, the whole nether area. And Braden was kind of flying around. He's like, you know what I really want to redo? And I'm like, what? He's like, my redwoods. He's like, because it looks lame. So he started redoing it. They started terraforming, but I had work in like an hour. So I was like, well, I'm not really able to, stick around for long. I can leave the world loaded though if you guys want. And I was expecting them to be there for like half an hour. Anyway, come home 4 hours later after my shift, and they're still going. They were still going on this. And I came in and I was helping them for another hour. They got off, like they were done, which makes sense because at that point they were going for 6 hours. And then the day after, I went to work again, and I come home to find they're on the world. He came into my room, loaded the world for them, and they hopped on and they were working on it, and they were basically done by the time I got home from my second shift, which is pretty crazy. For when you let them stay on. Ah, yes. Okay. This was long before the Redwoods. This was a while ago, before MCBC was a thing. So you guys know how... Bim wants me to tell this story, so I'm going to do it. So you guys know how, black lights, right? How they, highlight stains and stuff. So you know how you take, a black light to, a hotel room and you can just see how it's like, oh my god, yeah. Or I guess the better example is you have, those pens, those invisible pens that you can write on your arm. Use the little black lights. Oh my god. Come on. There we go. So what you can do is when you're holding a barrier, you can see the barriers, but when you get rid of them, you can't see them anymore. So that's kind of cool, right? And basically, what I did was I let them on the world for a few hours, and I came back home, and it was just dicks everywhere. There was phallic objects covering my entire map. It was all over the walls of the glass. It said Jace is gay with a big penis. Right? It was a whole thing. I had to go through and censor the entire map. Before season 1, I had to get rid of all of it. I wonder if there is anything local. Oh yeah, we also added this guy. Hello, Mother. He's the beefy boy. I believe he's got assless chaps as well. Yep, yes he does. Oh yeah, and when you're near him, you feel a powerful presence greeting his mother. So he's just a guy holding up a sign to say hi to his mother. Yeah. This is Andy's work. We had this joke where you would have these little guys. Wait, where is he? Is this little guy here? And these guys are scattered around the Battle Royale map. There's a few less of them now. We've deleted a few. But they're also in my Horde minigame. There's one of these guys in my Horde minigame. They're scattered along the entire world. And Andy decided, well, it's actually Andy who built all of these. And Andy decided that he was going to build the giant one here on the map because I told them, oh yeah, you guys are in charge of Battle Royale design. And they're like, are you sure you want to give us that much power? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I trust you guys. And I come home and this is what's here. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So yeah, there's some new supply drop locations. Oh yeah, and abilities. I'm gonna show the abilities again. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. Remind me. Actually, I do have a little thing, barrier, blacklight thing. I want to show you guys at the end because there is one thing that made it through. It's not in Battle Royale, but I will teleport out and show you guys because it's pretty cool. I think it's kind of funny anyway. So abilities, you got Sugar Rush. All right, so these are in the loot pool, and what they do is when you drop them on the ground, they do something. Each of them does something different. Sugar Rush, when you drop it, it gives you speed 2 for 30 seconds. And again, you could be like running around and then drop it. Boom, you got speed. You're gonzo. They won't be able to catch you. Charm of Hope gives you regen. Your wounds begin to mend, gives you regen for 30 seconds. You can see there's a little sound effect that goes along with each of them as well. Shield Charge gives you absorption for 15 minutes. Onions have layers, now you do too. But there's a catch to this. Obviously, if you take damage, you will be losing those 2 absorption hearts. They will not regen unless you use another shield charge. And shield charges do not stack. I'm going to repeat this. They do not stack. Do not try to use multiple of them to give you extra hearts, guys. I know XN Games is going to be doing this 100%. So if she makes it to even get one, I'm sorry, Charity. Anyway, let's throw her a bone by spawning in a dog here with the little loyal companion, which gives you a couple bones to tame the doggo. Doggos also have speed 2, so they should be able to keep up with you a little bit. And you can have infinite amount of doggos. So just for every loyal companion, little piece of raw beef you find, it'll give you a doggo, and you can tame that doggo. They're basically the spellbooks from Sky Wars. Yeah, they're basically the spellbooks from Sky Wars. Except you drop them. You don't left-click them. And the reason, or the right-click, I guess. Anyway, the reason we did that is because it's actually detecting for the item. There is a catch to that, though, and that is if you kill another player and they have some of these abilities on them, all of those abilities are going to trigger instantaneously and be deleted on the ground when you kill them. So it's a good and a bad thing. When you have them, you also can't drop them to your teammates. That's the other thing to be notable about, because it will just activate it. There's no real way for us to work around this, unfortunately, but you could you could throw them in a barrel or something and have your teammate pick it out of there if you really wanted to exchange items. A little bit more of a pain, but that's just the way they work. So if you kill somebody and they have a bunch of these abilities on them, it's just going to give you all of the buffs, whoever kills them, and then it'll just spawn in dogs, which is interesting, but yeah. I killed Yeller once and I got the effects. Killing, though, and getting the effects is not necessarily always a bad thing. It's almost, to me anyway, it almost works as getting a little buff or getting a kill. So it kind of works out, I think. The only downfall of it is it's just randomly going to spawn in a couple dogs if they already haven't done it. But I think it works. And there's a sense of security. It's kind of, so the lower tier armor as well has Curse of Vanishing on it. It's just to clear up the loot pool a little bit so that when you kill somebody, you don't get all their shitty stuff that you don't care about. Both a good and a bad thing. Early game, if you don't have anything and you take someone out and none of their stuff drops, that's why. So yeah, I'm gonna have to kill another doggo here. So I'm gonna actually, I'll do it with the sword again just to put him out of his misery. I'm sorry. I know I'm a murderer. All right, moving on. Ender Pearls are back in the game mode now. They are deleted for deathmatch, so you can't use them then. But other than that, Ender Pearls are free to use. What other changes did we do? Was that everything for Battle Royale? More chests, new locations. Oh, I removed all other potions besides Instant Health 1, which are the Splash, and that's just because there is no natural regen. There's also no fall damage, that hasn't changed, but there's no natural regen in Battle Royale, so we do need a second type of heal beyond just Charm of Hope, because as you can see, Charm of Hopes will not spawn in common. They kind of spawn in rare, and they will spawn in epic, but yeah, so that's pretty crazy. I might actually be moving these loot pool schematic stuff into the lobby just so that players can see what they can expect in each type of chest. That's pretty cool. And then obviously all of these little things are actually references to either a creator of the game or one of my friends who was just kind of involved in it. So No Q is Allowed is my friend Kira, who she actually helped to build parts of Battle Royale, but she sucks with the bow, so we made a joke. Captain's Cutlass is a friend. Arbiter is obviously one of the builders. Mitchie's Fat Shield. Yeah, forgot that was a thing. Spiffy Boots. And then Peacekeeper was my sword and like a bunch of survival stuff. Jackpot was a reference to my buddy Riley. I think we also have a Triton. Yeah, Triton of Neptune. This was Titanium Zombies Triton. So yeah, it's just a bunch of subtle references. I think some people wanted me to actually change it so that it was... Oh, you guys are clipping the doggo? Oh, the hoe! Yeah, the hoe. Where is the hoe? Oh, the hoe's not actually in the loot pool, even though it is an item. It's like a secret item. So anyway, there is a netherite hoe you can find called the Slader hoe. It's as good as an iron sword. It's fun times. It was one of those items, I think I actually put it in, but it was another reference to a series. So that's pretty cool. Oh, does the dogs? Yeah, the dogs do spawn in rare now. Okay, that's pretty cool. Hoe is best. Yeah. Okay. Add wolves of trouble. Bones. Bones are in common as well. That's also a thing. And I think that's everything. Yeah, all other potions were removed except for instant health 1. Yeah. So I think that's everything that I wanted to go over for the stream. There are other changes. So Rift Race, without going into, there's some map changes for Rift Race, but the biggest change for Rift Race is we actually removed Tritons, and then we've upped the speed, the base speed for both your base running and then the boost as well is all upped. You made a hose damage equivalent to an iron sword. So yes and no. There is a hoe, a netherite hoe, which just like netherite hoes do the same on a base. So netherite hoes do 6 damage, as do iron swords, which are crazy. But yeah, so you can find a hoe called the Slader hoe in the loot pool of BR, and you can use that and just use that as an iron sword if you want. You can't really enchant in this game mode. The only form of enchantments are protection books, which you can put on your armor. And then obviously you can find custom items that... I should make the Slader... Well, you can't put sharpness on a hoe, so it wouldn't really be... I couldn't really buff it to be a supply drop weapon, unfortunately. If I could, I would. We do have a little bit of advantage on this world, and it's why I will never swap worlds. Corrupt Skeleton was able to get me, back before it was fixed, Knockback 10 and Unbreaking 10 as enchantments, which are pretty cool. So I actually do have a Knockback 10 book as well, but I think it's over in like a little command area I have, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, that's everything for the stream. Rift Race, I got a few changes. I'm gonna just list some of the other stuff here that I don't want to show you guys directly. Fixed cacti, so it wasn't nothing new there. Some new lobby stuff that you guys can expect, but I won't get into that or show you any of that yet. Gladiators hasn't changed at all. Oh, parkour, beyond obviously parkour changing, like the course changing a little bit, we added snowballs. So the snowball, when you throw it, well, you can't actually hit another player with it, but it'll kill you and reset you to the last checkpoint. So that way the checkpoints actually do matter. Oh yeah, and I don't know if people ever saw this. We actually have pixel arts built of the builders of the map. And that down there, that's also one of the builders of the map that we have Arbiter killing, which kind of fun. Wait, what? Yes, the Book of Brenda Fish. That's what I'm holding. And actually, so there's a lot of like random stuff on this map. You can do that, but not sharp. Yeah. I can't sharpen a hoe. I know, it's stupid. So this is inside of my head, which, this is what I'm talking about with the blacklight thing, by the way. It's just, this penis is everywhere. They're always hidden everywhere you go. Yeah, so this is a thing. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff on this map. It's just like hidden under the surface that we've hidden away. All of these actually, I'll show you Titanium's head as well. Like they all have stuff in it, but I don't really want to show all of them. Okay, music. He's got, oh yeah, the group brain cell, right? Yeah, okay. Also sub to my channel if you want to. The contingency. Oh yeah, contingency plan. Yep. Okay, that's not in here. It's a little outdated. There's no sail away. This is a lot of content. It is a lot of content. Well, yeah. We're actually thinking, oh yeah, the shit is only 2D. Forgot about that. I mean, the poop emoji. We were actually thinking of extending the map even further and just including all of these with it. but we didn't. And I think this is a reference to, because he's the spiffy gent, so we gave him a lapis mustache, a little monocle, but then we also call him the sniffy gent, so he's got a trail of boogers out of his nose, filling a gauntlet, or a goblet. I don't know. I don't remember the exact context of why we did what we did, but it is pretty funny that we have Arbiter just with a decapitated King Out Pepper head. I just find that funny. So there's parkour. Okay. The chunks are lower on realms, so I'm trying to figure out where everything is. It's here. Okay. Yeah. This is what I was talking about, the barrier thing. Where is it? I know we didn't delete it. Oh wait. I think it's on the roof. Yep. There it is. Okay. As you can see, he wrote something. So let's see what he has to say. This was, I don't even remember what this is. Hopefully it's appropriate. Andy says hi. Wait. Oh, and would like to remind you to, right? That's the end, yep. Practice social distancing. Yep, okay, yeah, this was written back at the start of quarantine. Right, yes. He would like to remind you to practice social distancing and to play Minecraft instead and to play Minecraft instead of having friends. That's what Andy would like to remind, Andy the Spiffy Gent would like to remind all of you to practice social distancing and to play Minecraft instead of having friends. Dude, how are you reading that? Well, to be fair, I kind of remember it, but I kind of don't. So it's a whole thing. Oh yeah, and this, I don't even remember what this was for. It was some sort of, we were going to do like a 5v5 game mode, kind of like a TDM. And this was the map we were working on for it, and it just never came into fruition to be anything. But that's pretty cool. I don't know, maybe we'll use it for a game mode in the future, but there's a lot of games like this scattered around the world that are just like half-baked and we never finished, and obviously are not used in the championship. So this is Gladiators here. But yeah, so like we didn't change anything from Season 3, but Season 3 it wasn't played, so we did a huge overhaul to it for Season 3, and it wasn't played, so I don't know, maybe it'll be played for 4, but knowing Snipe Shot, I highly doubt it. And then this is actually the arena lobby, which looks like the MCBC lobby, and that's because we cloned it and used it for the MCBC lobby, but this was actually used for something else entirely. This was back before, I don't remember what that, yeah. This is for Brenda Brawlers, which is a game mode that is also on here, which is what this giant box is it's Brenda Brawlers. As said, we got a lot of game modes on this world that we're just not using. So this is Brenda Brawlers, which is, again, you can see another Sans head. And it's like a little mosh pit. There's kits. It's kind of like Super Smash Bros, but not like Super Smash Bros. I don't know. It's a cool little game mode. Anyway, I'm kind of getting carried away with touring the map, but yeah, there's a lot of random. There's a dropper on here. We have a horde game mode. Actually, I think if I, oh my god, the fact that we put barriers on all the roofs is a little repetitive. Where would this take me? Oh yeah, this takes me back to the main lobby. Ah yes, and you can see we have Brenda's Mighty Throne. We have the building team of the original map back before we turned it into MCBC. So this was just a mini game world, right? You can see some of these we carried over. Battle Royale, Cactice, Gladiators we carried over. Spleef. Racetrack actually turned into Rift Race. Prison is something that we're actually going to be showing off in a future Infinite Lands event, which you guys will see. I can't even show you the map because I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty cool. Parkour, escape, dropper we obviously aren't using. Mining world hasn't even been built, but then horde has also been used in a Infinite Lands event. Yeah, here we are in the horde. I got 3 maps on here. It's all pretty cool. Oh yeah, closed during event. Yeah, I shut it all down because of the... Right. This was my... Are there any changes to the lobby? Can't disclose those. Gonna go with a solid no. But yeah, no, there's definitely changes to the MCBC lobby for season 4. 100%. But yeah, I guess no, I don't even really want to show you guys. I mean, I do, but I don't know. I'm gonna save it. It's just a week. You guys can go a week. You'll see. You'll see what I mean. It's pretty cool. But I'll do a little tour of it after if people miss some of the Easter eggs. But it's pretty cool. So this was like the original. This is not the lobby they're gonna be spawning into or anything. The lobby they're gonna be at is much bigger. But originally I was gonna make this be a map, like a downloadable map on some third-party website. Might still do that in the future, but this turned into MCBC, which is pretty cool. Originally, this was all just me messing around with different game modes. And because I already had so many of these game modes built, I was like, well, which one of these can we convert and turn into a tournament style? And then after the first season, this entire world kind of just converted into MCBC, which is pretty cool. But it definitely made me give up on some of the other projects here. Like Horde is really cool, and it's really well done, and it's probably still my favorite game mode just because I've definitely put the most work into it. But obviously we're not using it in MCBC because it's kind of hard to make it work in a competitive format for MCBC. So haven't done it, but this is one of the maps here, which actually came out at the same time that another update did. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that's going to be all. I'm assuming if someone doesn't show us, SIP will replace them. Oh, if someone doesn't show up? No, so SIP tested for Season 4, which means he cannot partake in Season 4. So Payroll, you're kind of our guy if someone doesn't show up. Yep, 100%. Which I will text you and talk to you about that. But yeah, you're kind of the guy, so no pressure. I mean, obviously, if you can't make it, we'll find a different tester, or we'll find a different backup player. But you're kind of the guy right now, so yeah. If you're available, great. If not, then yeah, I'll have to hunt someone else down. So, but yeah, we did that because SIP will be joining for Season 5, and I figured, well, we could just give him a run-through before Season 5, but figured it was more fair to have him test now and kind of be on the same playing field as all the other people for Season 5, rather than testing before Season 5 and then potentially having an advantage. So, no, man, I'm always free for epic tournaments. Thank you. That's awesome to hear. Also, just ignore the penises everywhere. Anyways, guys, I'm going to talk to you later. If you liked, which is not a thing you can do on Twitch, I don't think, but follow if you're not. That's pretty cool. I'm going to be posting this to YouTube after the fact. I remember Pale going into a call and going, guys, I'm in a tournament that's in 2 hours. It was hilarious. Yeah. 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 Anyway, that's going to be all. If you guys want to see more, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, I'm down to do it. This will probably end up being the update video. I'm going to be careful. I know it's not like an epic thing, but it's kind of what we got for this season because I am swamped. And yeah, this week's going to be nuts. If I do get a video out, great. If I don't, then this will become that. So should be good stuff. Goodbye, Slader. I'll see you on your YouTube. Alrighty. I may actually hop into the Discord and into a voice call. So, Peril, if you want to talk, we can. But yeah, I will head out. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.